Now it gets tricky. Is after those, the clear, easy three, the three QBs that everybody loves. What's next? And this running back class, a lot of people saying might be among the worst we've seen in a long time. That being said, after the top dog Harris, you still do have Travis Etienne and Javonte Williams ranked inside your top 10, 8 and 10 respectively with those guys. And then there's no other running back until Trey Sermon at 17. So it is definitely a big gap that you're seeing. But these two, at least, you're considering first rounders in dynasty drafts. So, who do you prefer? Which one do you think has a better chance of challenging Najee for the throne? Or what do you like about them both, I guess?
So let's start with Etienne, he's one of those guys where my head tells me he's an elite prospect and my heart tells me it's like, this is going to be annoying for whatever reason. I don't know why. I just feel like he's going to be kind of a frustrating guy to have on your roster. Because I don't really know exactly how he's going to be utilized with the Jaguars. Like, is he going to be that Percy Harvin, Curtis Samuel type guy that's going to be, kind of like lining up all over the formation? You're not really sure exactly how they're going to use him. Or is he going to be like a bell cow type running back? They already have James Robinson. They already have Carlos Hyde. So there's some just, I guess, uncertainty there with, like how he's going to be used. I still think, like, obviously if he's getting, 6-7 targets a game, like, he's going to be super valuable in fantasy, but I don't see him as the same level talent as a pass catcher as like Alvin Kamara or Austin Eckler. I think he's certainly explosive. And I think his speed and explosiveness are kind of like the things that define him, but I wouldn't say he's like especially shifty or, make a guy miss with jukes or, really even just like a natural receiver. Like, I don't think he has that experience. Like, he even said it a couple of years ago. I think he just doesn't feel natural catching the ball yet. So, maybe he's going to develop into that guy where he's just a really natural pass catcher. But I think right now I would feel better about it if he was more like a 3 down, like if he was being projected as like an early down guy, also like who can also play on passing downs and things like that. So I don't know. I'm just a little worried, but at the end of the day, his profile's great. Like, he's got the speed, he's got the production. Obviously, he's got he caught like 78 touchdowns. He scored 78 touchdowns in college, which is absurd. I think I don't know like if scoring touchdowns is a skill, but he certainly has like a knack for it. And so I think and being attached to Trevor Lawrence for the long term is certainly a good thing, but early on it might be a little bit frustrating. And then with Javonte Williams, same kind of deal. Like, I don't know exactly how he's going to be utilized with the Broncos. I think them trading up into the early second round, so he's essentially almost a first round pick. They traded up for him, so those two things are great. He's super elusive. He's the opposite of Etienne, where he makes guys miss in a phone book. He can break tackles with ease. He creates his own yards. All that stuff is great. His production is not quite as strong, and he didn't have a lot of games where he was like carrying the ball 20, 30 times a game. He was more in like a committee with Michael Carter. So those are some of the worries, I guess. But like overall, I think he's really fun to watch. He's an awesome player, and he eventually will win that backfield and be like their 3 down guy. So it's just a matter of like when, not if. So I really like him. And if people had Williams over Etienne, I don't think I would really blink at it. It'd be fine with me. Like, I know some people think he was the best back in the draft, and that's not crazy to me. So, I would say, I'm bullish long-term on both guys, but it could be a little bit frustrating early on for both those guys also.
I'm with you 100% on both of these. In fact, we had Thor over from NBC Sports Edge come on and said very similar things. That two guys that I really trust in their evaluations and their eyes. He was saying, Etienne keeps getting these Kamara comparisons. Let me tell you, he's 100% not Kamara. So to hear two guys now say that, I think we got to pump the brakes on those comparisons for sure. And I actually do prefer Williams, especially with this latest hype that he might be the week 1 starter because of how impressive he is and the draft capital they invest in him. And I fully buy that. And they say they're going to use all 3 running backs, but their offensive coordinator, Pat Shurmur, has always been a workhorse guy, always been a bell cow breeder. To me, his path to that role that we all crave is a little bit clearer than Etienne's for all those reasons you mentioned, Robinson, Carlos Hyde, and that Percy Harvin role would be great. It certainly comes with its target upside and just a lot of manufactured looks. And those guys did eat under Urban Meyers in college, but I just, it's tricky to know which one to go with. I personally think I prefer Williams right now. They're both great talents, both in not the ideal of landing spots, but I think Williams is the one that rises a little bit faster for sure. But I do also consider them both, just like you do, the clear 2 and 3 of this class at running back, and a pretty big drop off from there. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.